Make sure we're all clear here. Still hosting Salty Bet. And survey says exiting host mode. Figured they corrected that error, but they never do. Anyway, since I'm not in the best of moods, but there's been a lot of shit that's been going on lately. And I feel like it's time to jump back into Ryse. It's only been a few days, but you know what? This is a good stress reliever. Again, I'm just waiting for my channel to confirm that it is in fact playing my gameplay right now, and it is. Okay. Chat is up. I am good, ready to continue the story in The King. Okay. So, again, I won't go into too much detail. Again, I don't like to involve personal issues when I do these streams. But there's a lot of national and political and just a whole bunch of bullshit going on. And 2017 is just turning out to be the year of the joke, where nobody seems to know what the fuck they're doing, and we keep having these fucking people just ruining things just all over. So that's all I'm going to say about that. I'm not going to throw out names, but if you're smart enough, you can figure it out. Not to mention, I'm a little sick and tired of fucking events happening in other countries where people are dying needlessly, you know? Not that there's anything you can really do about it, but it's just really stupid, and it's getting a little bit overdone. So, that's all I'm going to say about that. That's all I'm going to say. But for now, we're going to try and enjoy the game, which will somehow remind me of our current political situation. And again, I won't reference names, but you know which administration I'm talking about. So just keep that in mind. Also, collectible here. So we're gonna go a little bit of an Easter egg hunting in this one as well. Mostly because I just like this Easter egg. It's pretty cool.
You heard what Boudica said. We scout, we set traps, we stay alert. We got reports of Roman activity all over this region. They've lost their general and they're going to do everything to get him back. If you hear anything, raise the alarm. Any questions?
What time is it?
Shut your own, Keenan. You've got the west path. Check those traps. I want those spikes firing on a hair trigger, okay?
So, I don't know if there's a way to sneak up on these guys. Every attempt I've tried has not worked.
Scouts reported a possible Roman detachment in the area. Probably heading for the aqueduct. They won't make it, right?
You're looking my way, which I don't like.
Little Roman, all by
Yeah. So this is what I mean. I don't think there's a possibility. Oh, wrong button. Again, getting back in the swing of things after some time off is not always great. Goodbye arm. Goodbye throat. Goodbye head.
barbarians all over this region.
Okay. So the magical time we're going to spend is right here. Again, this is another spot for a collectible, so that's an important reason. But if we keep looking over this way, not really anything too particular. And I can check this email while it comes up, because I will know. It'll just show up. Oh, my controller batteries are low. Well, I should be fine for this session. Shouldn't be too big of a deal. Let's wait for it, though. It should pop up any time. Again, not the most exciting, but I promise it'll be interesting nonetheless. Spin that sword. Spin it again. Spin it a few more times. Oh. There it is. And again, it's the same sword I have, and the sun ray is a little bit interesting, but, you know, it's just a cool little Easter egg. I thought it's nifty. Not really any need for that to be there, but they put it in anyway. So, now we can move on. Again, it doesn't unlock anything, you don't collect anything for it, you don't get an achievement for it, although that would be interesting to see. Just fun. So, we're going to come up on a few new interesting features.
Gods, what fate is this? Death by traps, strangulation. This must be what's left of the Fourth Legion.
That would be the Fourth Legion. So yeah, now we have traps in the ground, which will one-hit kill anything. Come on, big boy. Time to die.
Got him!
Oh, I have a message on my phone. It is probably from someone I know. Alright, there we go. So that answers that. Alright. So that was me getting my ass kicked. Let's try not to have that happen again.
Bad luck. All together. Stay.
And one for the face, one for the gut, and another one to pull out. This guy, for whatever reason, is super tough. Not a big fan. Is there another one? Can I jump this? I can. Let's use it. It's almost like I knew that trap was there.
Boudicca's got us out there hunting ghosts.
You got forest duty because you're a
We got one.
Oh, I missed it.
centurion.
And good day. And good day. No, you don't.
Ladies away to you.
Oh. That was the wrong button. You didn't need that arm, did you? I didn't think so. And again, will I recycle my own material? Yes, I will. Fantastic. Yeah, we're not dealing with this shit. Fuck the big guy first. And let me take that back from you. Thank you. You're a peach.
Try for the aqueduct. I'd like to see him get past those extra archers Boudica has stationed there.
So we just watch this forest path to make sure no Roman sneaks through. Not going to be a big force moving through the woods. I'll head back to the aqueduct and support Boudica there. Okay?
Right you are.
So again, not really anything too fantastic or important here.
Hello, Roman.
And I almost get found out immediately every time. Almost did not see that. No. No. And a stab, and a stab, and a stab. Okay, more like a slash, but fine. Skin was pierced. That's all I care about. Thank you. Alright. So, I save it for the shield guys because they're the most annoying. Like, honestly, that's the only reason. Yep, I messed it up.
More of them than I expected. Better hurry to the aqueduct.
Yeah. So again, if you're looking for collectibles, nothing in that entire section, which you can go like multiple routes, which I would have thought it would have been, but there's one right here. So just another thing to keep in mind. Oh, well, I didn't get to see the scene, but it's basically just looking at the aqueduct. And for those who are unfamiliar with what an aqueduct does, it transports fresh water from lakes and streams outside of a city into a city. And the reason for that is because people in the city don't usually have access to fresh water unless there was a well, but the aqueduct solved that problem.
This way. The legions approach. Position your archers on the roadside and prepare yourselves
Roman
to
invention.
fire on my command.
Yes, ma'am.
It might have been a Grecian invention, but I know the Romans perfected it, so let's go with that. Again, my historical knowledge is not perfect, but it's pretty good. It's better than most. And again, yes, that guy over there has a treasure, so don't forget to grab that. The dead man. What is the viewpoint there? Yeah, they just hear me. Like, for whatever reason, This game does not like a stealth element. It's just like, yeah, you're gonna fight these guys. It's like, alright. I imagine this was supposed to be a stealth element at one time. They just didn't perfect it or something. And stab, and stab. He's not doing so well. Also, not doing so well. And good day. Apparently unlock the next rank. What does that mean? I have no idea. So collectible would be here-ish? I don't know. It's fairly visible. Like you can barely miss it. But yeah, just check every corner you can. Dead bodies are often used to hide like papers and that sort of thing, so. There's the archers that are shooting my men. How dare they? Well, there ain't no surrender, so, you can die. And as you can see, if I don't do this quick enough, my soldiers will get annihilated, which I don't want to happen. And farewell. Auf Wiedersehen. I'll take my sword back, thank you. So the way up there is... I don't remember. Stop the ballista. I know, stop the ballista. I get it. Shit, I don't have an angle. There it is. Got him. Goodbye. Could not see. Almost impossible. That's okay. All right.
It's clear. Advance.
Again, why my men were out in the open like this with this ballista here is beyond me, though. It's like they have shields. They can use the damn things. I know they know. So again, another situation, too many guys. And you're done. I call him Stubby. Hey, look, you're dead.
Just need to push this up.
Thank you. So I got there a little bit quicker than I should have, if that wasn't obvious, because those guys would have not shown up that soon. Here's my boys being attacked by archers again. Why they're being attacked by archers again? I don't know, but they are. That guy has something. This guy, I think, had something. But it's been a while.
This one's mine.
So that's Boudica.
You should never have come here. Now you should die here. I pity
You broke your oath. You kill the innocent, women and children.
you. How do you think your empire was built? We didn't ask for you to come here.
So obviously, this fight with Boudica is supposed to be a lot more technical.
I would do anything to protect my
For example, that multi-deflect should never have worked, but it did. Again, this is one of those sections where it's supposed to be like a boss fight, but it's not quite there yet. At least on easy. That right there, though. That combo ender. And those heavy attacks are what you want to do. There we go. It counts as a kill, but she... well, you'll see.
gods. Clean up this mess.
She just sort of runs away. And face stomp. And a slice. And a dice. And again, I played this game on normal, so mostly the only thing I'm doing different is that it's on easy just to get through it. But I'm having a good time. It still plays the same. There's not really much difference. Like I said, the only thing that difference is I take less damage and the enemies take more damage. For example, that Boudica boss fight was a pain in the ass. Now we're in a new zone.
Legionaries, make way!
Centurion.
Formation! On me!
Wait for it.
Men! Shields!
I don't like those other archers. Come on.
Steady! Clear, men! Go!
Good. And most of them are dead. That's fine. And again, the Roman army on its own, even without Marius, would know how to do this, but for whatever reason, these soldiers are idiots. Like, they were holding a line, but that was about as good as they were doing. Here we are. into the den.
Shields, men! Hold! I'll scout their position.
Ouch. That stung a bit.
Right. Keep them busy. Attack on my command.
So now we enter what appears to be... Well, you'll see. There's some fine bricklaying here.
Must move quickly. The line can't hold for long.
And there's this skeleton, right? And we've seen a skeleton in the water before, so I don't know if this is supposed to be, like, representative of something else. Like, this seems like a holy place almost, because you don't just put a skeleton on a slab. But then again, the only thing I can think of that's Britain-related is, like, was this King Arthur? You know, something like that, or Robin Hood? But it seems like it's the wrong time zone here. Like, the wrong time. Because this King of the Britons is almost like... I don't even know how to describe it, but he's like barbarian almost. Like, it's too far BC. It's not like medieval ages. So I don't know what the whole implication here is. I don't know enough about skeletons to determine, is that a woman? Is that a man? If it is a man, why is the man on the rock? If it is a woman, why is the woman on the rock? Unless she was a queen. I don't know. It's very strange. Well, might as well tell him to charge. Explosion. And again, there's shit in here just before the door, like I think right here or something. If you turn around, it's like one of these corners. Yeah, here it is, right here. So this little scroll thing. If you go too far, obviously the cutscene activates and you don't really have a chance to go back. I love how Johnny No Name is the guy to my right, and it's just like, yeah, he's no one important. He just happened to be there. I'll take that back, thank you. Now, there is one thing I'll say about these Britons. They're awfully polite letting me execute their teammates. Because in a normal fight, the second I did this, they'd be all over my back. I'd be dead. Like, there's no joke. Like, I've never heard of a single Roman soldier taking on entire squads and surviving. That just doesn't happen. Oh, that was the wrong one. Oh, God. Man, he flew. Goodbye, leg. Alright, too many shields. Again, remember that thing I said about shields. There's too goddamn many. Everybody else I can take care of. But the shields are annoying. Oh, that even looked bad. It's like, why would you do that? Well, that block didn't work. You're going for a ride. Boop. And in the gut. And out your throat. Thank you. Whoa! Where'd you come from? Alright, one of you's gotta go. Perfect. Again, they're so polite about it. They just let me kill them one after the other.
Surrender! Or I'll end your bloodline. Now! Enough!
Even the King of the Britons won't let his daughter die. So at the cost of his kingdom, he saves his daughter. Which is technically... we'll get there. Anyway. So, nepotism. Who's familiar with this term? Well, you're gonna be. We'll go over it. And I don't mean king or Boudica.
By the gods, we fight for the glory of Rome. What kind of glory is this?
The Britons will never commit to peace if this is how we treat them. This must be the work of the Praetorians.
So this is also known as factionism. Praetorians are basically religious warriors under direct command of the Emperor's children?
Friends of Rome, may I present to you Basilius, son of the Emperor.
Commander Vitalian. Congratulations on your safe arrival. Had it been any later, you might have missed out on all the fun. I do trust your journey was not too arduous.
I would like
My Praetorian Guard will take over now. Guards, seize the Briton scum.
Your Highness, I must
In case you're
protest
unaware, my brother Commodus still missing. I intend to find out what these savages have done with him.
We Britons lived in peace under the rule of the old Roman chieftain. But this new chieftain, Commodus, son of your king, is evil. He deserves the fate that he is suffering. I have nothing more to say.
Then it is clear to me that you Britons do not love as we Romans do. Your girl.
She is beautiful.
flog her until he talks, or she dies. Whichever comes first.
No! Hold her! How dare you!
How dare you? I am son of the Emperor, and I do whatever I choose.
Please! No! Please! Spare her! I'll tell you everything! Chieftain Commodus was traded to the Horned King in the Northern Lands. Beyond the wall. Please. Release my daughter. I beg of you.
See? Really only one language these people understand. The language of force.
You will find your chieftain in darkness beyond the wall. Where the lowering barren mountains tower over the black, bottomless locks. Horned men from ancient times roam this land, and of those who venture there, few return.
And again,
Very exciting. Commander Battalion, I have a new mission for you. You will lead your men north to the lowering mountains and bring back my brother. Guards, lock up the prisoners.
Ready the men! You heard the commander! Make ready to march!
Centurion. We march north.
Yes, sir.
so Basilius already shows signs of
Battalion led
being
our
clearly
forces further
insane.
north, beyond the borders of our empire to the edge of the world. We fought against warriors more beast than men, so fearsome that even Rome's elite legions had failed to conquer them. Oswald's foreboding words haunted us as we marched ever deeper into the unforgiving darkness. Horned men from ancient times roam these lands, and of those who venture there, few return.
So this is basically just going to be a walk and talk section.
Glot's Hop. It's rumored to be the gateway to Hades, a place of fire and death. I worry that what happens here on the edge of the world could soon befall the Empire itself.
Engineers, soak those hides. Antonius, check the cables. Otto, secure the beams. We move out at the tent.
Yes, sir.
So we have a ram.
We'll rescue Commodus. They build wicker men only for their most valuable sacrifices. He's sure to be there. We begin our attack at the dead of night.
I don't like this.
And again, there's some missables items. You do a 180 from the start there, you'll get another collectible. But let's just enjoy the theming. Ooh, what was that?
It's nothing. Over there. It's just a deer. Just a deer.
Somebody was up there.
Something's watching us. If they want to fight, why don't they come out and fight? Come on. Be quiet. What are you so scared of? We're Romans. The 14th. Movement ahead. He ran into the mist. I saw it. Some kind of animal. Some kind of animal with 2 legs.
Quiet,
Double time, lads.
If these beasts were able to, they would have attacked us by now. No. They have sense enough to fear.
It's true. Then again, walking into an unknown forest is a baffling suggestion. But it's not like we really have a choice. Again, that's the thing about an emperor. They believe that they are gods, and so their children come to believe, oh yes, we are also gods. But we know that to not be true.
Ambush! Clear the bridge!
Ah, so just another normal day. Nothing strange here at all. I'll take that back, thank you. Whoa. Dodge that damage from behind. Because again, they're polite warriors. They'll let me fight, and then they'll turn around and try to fight me again. Oh, that was the wrong one. Let's try that one. Good day. I've had enough of your shield shit. Couldn't exactly see what color he was there. So it really is unclear who these tribesmen are. Because the North locks this whole skeletal thing going on. I don't know which tribe that would be, or what date that would be, because it's almost prehistoric. Then again, the Roman Empire was around.
Your empire needs you. Ryse.
Look for signs of my cohort. Of course, my cohort.
I must find my men.
So, now to put things in perspective, we're going after Commodus, which is, well, at this point we know him as General Commodus, or Basilius's brother. Basilius' brother, meaning son of the Emperor, another Emperor's son. Fine. So what does that mean? It means that, according to the Briton king, who we've just imprisoned, he's an evil man. And while normally you don't exactly trust the enemy, you can pretty much be sure, because of what Basilius was going through in his psychological state, that they probably share some very similar traits. For example, being insane. And we saw how heroic their father was. Oh my god, big boy, big boy. Oh, I messed it up. I wanted to put him in the fire, but it didn't work. It's fine. He's technically still in it. Okay, so there's collectible over here. Not really important, though. We can move on. That guy was sort of just a testament as a mini-boss battle. Oh no, what a surprise. Now, my first time playing it, it was a little bit of a surprise, but since I knew they were there, it's not really anything too terribly exciting. But if you're surprised, let me know. Leave a comment. You didn't need that, did you? Thank you. And the reason I'm up here is because I want these free pylon... whatever they're called. I call them pylons. They're not pylons. What the fuck are they called? I don't know, I forget. Not a big deal. Oh, I got an achievement. There's no such thing as luck. Kill an enemy by perfectly deflecting an arrow. Good. And stab. And again, the panic swings. They're the best. What the hell just happened there? Come here, fire boy. Oh, he shot his friend. You shot your friend. I'm gonna keep pushing you. Oh. Apparently I knocked him out. I'm okay with that. Again, I'm trying to get somebody in the fire, just because. But I guess I'll have plenty of opportunities. It's not really a big deal. Or will I? Ba-ba-ba. Look at these sweet shrooms! If this was Super Mario Bros., I'd be so winning. Wait for it, wait for it. Yeah, so that's what I was hoping for. What are those moments? So let's see if I can force it. I can. There he goes. My blocks need to be perfect, and I keep doing it too early. Because I see the strike coming, and then they do this slowdown thing, and it's like, that's not it. Yes, I see you. It's fine. Oh well. I'm gonna get what I got. And dead. I'm sorry. Did you need that? The answer was no. No, he did not need that.
Thank you, sir. We must save them all. Come on.
Come on.
Yes, sir.
Let's go. Ready to rock. Ready to roll. Look at all them bread and fruits. Pretty good. Pretty fucking good. Oh. No, I don't want to use those. So, that's sort of a bait thing, because it's like, yeah, you want to use those. No, not yet. We'll get there, though. Ah, shit. I always get that wrong. It's like I can see the movement and I'm like, wait, which one is it? Good.
Free them. Sir, the shooting. They took him to the wicket. Centurion. Darius will save all our men. What's that? Here they come. Get into position.
Now here's the other fun part. So there is an item you can miss. The thing is, I will point at it. That gate over there needs to be open. If that gate does not open, you can't get it. And if you wait too late, you will move on to the next scene without having the option to go for it. So, what are my options? Order archers cover the left side of the formation. This gives line of sight at the ridge above the Roman line. Archers will fire at targets on the ridge. In front of the Roman line. Nah, fire at the ridge.
Form a testudo. We're here, sir. In the cage. Archers on the Scorpio. Into position. Infantry on the move.
Doing what I can. Not well. So now they're retreating. I'm going to kill as many as I can while they're running away. So this would be the time to run out there, grab the collectible, and then go from there. So. Everything seems fine. All that cool stuff is done.
Formation! On me! Let's move!
And now we're moving. So yes, once we entered this formation, we couldn't be able to collect that item. But don't go into formation. Just wait for the gates to open, then do your thing, because it'd be right there. Just gonna have a lovely jaunt through the swamp. Ah, he ran off. The coward. Wait for it.
Shields now! Hold Testudo! Aim! Now! Shield! Tight grip! Hold Testudo! Healer! Shields ready!
Yeah, one of my guys died. He got hit by that arrow straight in the head. It's fine, though.
Ready! Healer! Shields! Get ready!
There we go. Everybody's fine. Fire, fire, fire. Good. I think that's okay. I think we made it. Good enough.
You men, take the left flank with me. The rest, the right, and await my signal. Yes, sir.
So, I think there's a glitch because that arrow icon did not leave. Again, those soldiers, if they're burning to death anyway, they could have destroyed that cage pretty easily. Like, I'm not one to, like, tell them what to do, but it's better than dying, I think. You! So the important part about this particular section is that you don't want the cages to be on fire. Because that's a bad thing. So as long as you stop the fires, you're okay. And done. I wish that arrow icon would go away. Let's see if I can trick it. Nope, I cannot. Oh well. No big whoop. And done. Ah, shit. How did I get that wrong? Thinking someone's knocking on my door. They're not. So normally, when those guys are distracted by the cages, it's a freebie kill.
Ryse, come on. Let's get the rest of our men.
Hopefully when I enter the next cutscene, it'll just get rid of this little problem I'm having. Because that arrow should not be there. I'm going to get rid of Hammerman because he's a pain in the ass. Ah, that's the wrong one. And thank you. And a punch. That was me missing.
Sir, I saw Vitaly. They took him to the Wicker Man.
Hold on a moment. Brief pause. Need to put out a text. Unfortunately, it is important. So just give me a moment. Okay. Running along. Having a grand old time. And for whatever reason, my men are nowhere to be found. I think this is just an open field for no reason. There might be like hidden collectibles over here, but I don't remember. Don't remember.
Form a line, men. Hold the gate. I'll find Vitalian.
Well, that just seems to be permanently there, even in cutscenes. Oh, nope, it's gone now. Thank God. Hold on. I need to solve this problem. Nope, it's back again. Okay, fine. Ah, I got hit by that one. So Glot is a pain in the ass, as you can already tell. The answer for him is to get behind him. Wait for the red and then get him. But it doesn't work out so well because the roll isn't always guaranteed to work. And again, if this looks like a boring fight, it's not really. It's very technical, though. Like, you can see he's basically blocking everything, and I'm not exactly being smart about it. But I do have some advantages here and there. Oh. The Wicker Man is falling. Very interesting to see how that actually burns. Come on, you. Come on. I also like when I'm holding X and then he just stands there. So it almost seems like they're German. Which Germanic tribes, maybe? I don't know for sure, though. And again, I'm trying to time the blocks, but it's very unclear sometimes when the perfect block time is. Because then he just shreds right through it. Now on normal, 3 of those would have killed me.
You men! Grab the ram! Bring down the Wicker Man!
Waiting for the Wicker Man to fall. Fall, Wicker Man.
Sometimes a man must look past what he thinks he sees. Well done, Marius.
Well done indeed.
Soldiers! Soldiers! Well, don't just stand there, you useless sows! Get me out of here! Get me out of here now!
Suppose that would be our glorious leader, General Commodus.
Yes, the Emperor's son.
Get me out of here, you stupid fools! I command you!
Reminds me of someone.
Your victory, your honors, Centurion.
At once, sir.
Come on, you fucking idiot!
Give me your cape.
Give me your cape!
I'm not even going to respond to her anymore.
We marched
Again,
to York.
fate
Commodus was safe.
just
and
goes
Oswald was
whew,
accepted.
over her head. Okay.
I pray to the gods that an end to this horrific bloodshed was within our grasp, that I could finally return with my men to Rome. I began to realize that Commander Vitalian had every reason to question the wisdom of this campaign. How many soldiers had given their lives to achieve this so-called victory? For me, I had spilled all the blood I could handle.
Strange. For a man wanting vengeance. He spilled too much blood?
Governor, I bring before you Oswald, King of the Britons. He has renounced this rebellion. He will submit to the rule of Rome, and henceforth he will only fight to secure peace between our two great peoples.
Highness Commodus, all we ask is that my people are treated with fairness. Treated as equals. So that all may live in peace.
So that we all may live in peace. The peace treaty from Rome. The Emperor's will! The Emperor's peace! All he needs is the King's mark on that scroll, and then we can all leave this god-forsaken island. Your Emperor, my father, he is indeed wise and fair.
Is he? I don't know about wise or fair, but okay. Let's go with that.
This is the Emperor's seal. It is a direct extension of his will and the power of Rome. Ryse. Embrace me.
Again, never embrace a man with a drawn dagger.
King Oswald, here is your peace.
How dare you? You filthy, stinking dog! How dare you! You see? You see what happens when you defy me? Never!
So now the fun part. So, from what we know,
His will is done.
The Americans didn't kill my father. The Emperor did.
ding,
Save
ding,
him from
ding.
them.
Now, kneel, you dogs! What are you waiting for? I said kneel!
So, here's the thing. Commodus seems to believe
My father is a god.
that if your mouth is big enough,
I
people
am a
have to
god.
listen.
Obey me! As you obey the gods!
Oh, nailed. Love it.
Get us to the harbor. Battalion! I want you to take control of these rebellious scum. Hold the city, spare no one. You'll all pay dearly for this. We will slay every man, every woman, and every child. And shit on your grave. Reinforce the walls. Or step back. Now. Close the gates. We must keep their army out at all costs. I'll take control here. You man the walls. Marius, we need time. We need to get these enemies out as long as possible. We need to get all our civilians down to the docks. Do whatever you can. I'll meet you down at the courthouse. Now go!
So, let me just discuss some things here. So, we've learned that Commodus was not seeking peace. He wanted to start a war with Britain. Now, he did have the seal of Nero on the knife, which we know from earlier when Marius's father died. That same knife was used to kill him. Okay, so that implicates Emperor Nero for killing Marius's father and basically his entire family by ordering the assassination. Fine, okay, we got that point. The other part of this is Vitalian was trying to avoid an all-out war because the Britons outnumber them 5-1. And it's pretty smart to go after the leader and just stop the rebellion right there, have peace talks, and, you know, just say, all right, here, look, we won, got your daughter, you know, we just want to maintain peace, all that fun stuff. And of course, the king is like, all right, fine, we surrender. We just want to be treated as equals. We don't want any suffering to happen. Please let that be the end of it. And Commodus, being the wise and smart man that he is, and if you can't tell that I'm being facetious here, I'm sorry for you, decides he's going to kill the one person who could maintain peace in the land of Britain by just outright killing him in front of the people. Which not only made the King of Britain a martyr, but now Commodus is yelling at the people in the crowd who now are going to try and kill him and every soldier of Rome, and the entire island is going after this one town now, making the entire Roman army look like asshats, which is not smart. You'll also notice that Commodus was the first one to fucking run away. So, there's something to be said about people who do stupid things like attack or kill without any thought as to what the consequences might be. And again, this is my beloved, so you'll have to forgive me. This one's a little more important right now. I'll go back into my topic of conversation here. I haven't forgotten. Anyway, so I'm getting the answer to that. So, thing about political situations is that, unfortunately, when clashing of egos comes into this field, it is never a good thing. Never. Because your ego means nothing compared to the power of your people and their needs. So if you are going to rule, if you are going to lead, you have to do it intelligently. And yes, sometimes attacking is the smartest option, but that is only, and I mean only, if you are going to obliterate the enemy entirely. Because if you leave anyone, if you leave any enemy behind, the second that they have any opportunity, they're going to rebel and attack you from the inside. Now, that being said, I'm not a fan of genocide, but that's how these things work. So, again, sometimes, like with what just happened here, so the smartest thing was accept the agreement, let the, hold the king and Boudica as a hostage, keep them under some sort of house arrest with a guard, let them lead or guide their people, and, peace returns to what Rome was trying to conquer. Fine. Because before, like the king was saying, it's like, hey, we had no problems with Rome before, but then Commodus came in here acting like an asshat. And he was. And they rebelled because, hey, we don't want to be treated like shit. Why would we want to be treated like shit? And Commodus, thinking he's a god because he literally just shouted it into the crowd, in all his wisdom, is now provoking their anger and expecting that, oh, they're just going to submit, which is never the case. You don't run into a crowd of people, yell, "I am the king of the world," and expect them to believe you. You lead through action. You lead through guiding. You lead through compassion. Because that shows that you actually know what the fuck you're doing. And that you're looking out for your people. So, again, I'm a little bit passionate about this topic because I see in our current fucking society, and again, you'll have to forgive my language, but I see it all the fucking time. I don't know what the hell the world leaders are thinking. I don't know what the hell any political leader is thinking right now, but this is some bullshit. And again, you launched a Moab. You've successfully attacked, a terrorist cell. All good things. Attacking a terrorist cell, getting rid of it is fine. But ignoring your people's plight, ignoring economic systems, ignoring resource management, and trying to revive dead and useless industries, and I mean this in the fucking calmest way I can, because anybody in their mind, think about the last time you ever needed coal for anything. Now, there's oil, and I understand that because we use crude and we make it into other things and we make it into gasoline and all that sort of stuff. Fine. Coal can also be synthesized into other objects, but it's not like we need to start mining it right away. There's not a shortage of coal as far as I know. And the steel industry died for a reason. These things went under for a reason. And it was under an economic system that said, hey, again, I'm having a conversation. Again, I didn't plan for this conversation to take place on my cell phone, but it is kind of important to me right now. So, again, there are probably plenty of people who are looking at this and, just skipping it and going into the action. That's fine. If you stuck around this long, I'm happy that you were here and you heard it. And understand that our leadership should be better than this. And unfortunately, I don't see anybody currently on the table that is smart enough to fucking figure out these situations correctly. Because it is a clash of egos. It is, oh, well, I can fire all these missiles, and I control the biggest army in the world, and yeah, we're going to do all these fucking things that don't matter a goddamn bit. And we're going to build a wall that we can't afford. If that doesn't tell you anything right there, just fuck. Just fucking stupid. It is so weird that campaign worked. It is so fucking weird. In any case, we're going to get back into the game before I start thinking about this too hard again. But anyway, moving on up. Getting to the ramparts. We have to protect some idiot fucking royals because that's how this works.
Archers, positions now. A rain of arrows on my signal. Yes, sir. Soldiers, a great battle awaits us. They are coming for us to take everything we have, everything we love. They are determined to take it all from us. Let them come, and we will see if they can! Archers, commence fire!
And my wall is a-crumbling. And we want to stop the siege engines.
Target their siege engines! Stay close to the battlements! When their ladders touch stone, kick them down!
Kick them down. Hey, look, there's a ladder. Goodbye. Idiot. And these people have every right to be pissed. Every fucking right. Now, I'm not saying that they are smart for attacking Rome, but I'm saying that they have every right to be pissed. Later.
Siege tower in range! Mark their archers and tell me when they draw! Archers!
How did you get me? And face stomp.
Fire volley now!
What to say? Weren't they supposed to be going after those siege engines? What happened here?
Ready yourselves, lads!
I've never had a siege engine actually make it to the wall before.
Stand the time, men! Keep them back! I'll cut the ropes! Cover me!
I must have targeted the wrong thing, but that's okay. Because I definitely don't want those towers getting here. What did I target? Yeah, it was the siege tower. Never mind. Yeah, siege towers is what I wanted.
Target their
Why did it
siege
say
towers
engines?
and soldiers.
Well, at least I didn't get hit by cannon fire. I'm okay with that, I guess.
Come get your beast, bro.
Covering fire!
Wow. Okay. Interesting.
Time to pay for your lives.
Archers, cover me!
Stop it. And 1. And 2. Again, my soldiers, there's plenty of soldiers up here. They should know how to kick down a fucking ladder. So I'm not sure why this game does this, where I have to kick down every fucking ladder. But I'm not a fan.
What are your targets, sir?
Tower again.
For this time,
This should be the last one.
towers and soldiers.
Okay, somebody kick it down. I'm okay with that. And done. Yeah, get the ladders. What the fuck are you guys doing over here? I want more soldiers to come up. I need something to kill. It's like, stab them on the way up. Oh, God. Oh, we must get those ladders down, huh? You don't say. There better not be any more ladders. Yeah, I know my men are almost all dead. Thanks.
Covering fire!
Oh, hang on. More messages. Okay. What the hell? So as you can tell, not doing so well. But this section is notoriously just difficult. Because you have to do like 5 different things. It's like kick down the ladders and then, you know, all that fun crap. But
The south gate has fallen! The city will be overwhelmed! Get these people to the boats!
Yes, sir.
I need to get to the docks. Is there another way? Yes, sir. You can cut through the slums there. Clear out, Mr. Britons!
cut through the slums, they say.
Britons are coming!
That's a nice little nod to the Revolutionary War. The Britons are coming! The Britons are coming! Just, funny jokes. So there's an item in here. Doesn't really matter. You grab it, you leave. Jump the fence. And again, I apologize for all the breaks, I apologize for all the talking, I apologize for all of that. That's not what this is supposed to be about, but fucking, like... I love this game for that reason. It's just like, there's some justice to it, but we'll get there. We'll get there. And there's my route. That's not an openable door. That's not a jumpable fence. Oh, it's the ladder. I almost didn't see it. But now I did. There's an item back behind there before you jump down. Obviously, you want to get that, but... Can you pick it up, please? Stop being an asshole. Can't see me, can you? I can see you, though. And just like a marshmallow. So now I have to protect the barge from these archers and everything else. Not that they have a life bar, but that's part of the job. Alright, big boy, you're going down first. And a face slap, and a stab, and a pull. And a smack, and a stab. And a smack, and a smack, and a blah. And a blah, 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 blah. Get it? Because he couldn't breathe. So now I got to get these good people out of here because they're trapped inside the burning building. Marius, firefighter in training. Now, going on what I was talking about earlier, there are very impassioned people in my own family who seem to believe that the regime we live in is a good one. And they were wanting change, and they were like, oh, this is... The previous president or leader was so bad for us, you know, all that sort of stuff. And yet, they don't seem to see the irony. And it's one of those things where it's almost, just almost a little too much. Just a little too much. It's like, you don't see it. I don't understand what the draw is. And the only thing I can think of is that, you know, cute blonde girls sort of thing. Like, oh, well, these blonde girls, they believe it. So, you know, that's a thing. But at the same time, I know so many other people is just like, no, that's not how this works. And again, nothing against blonde women. You know, don't get me wrong. It's just, if you know what I'm talking about, and again, years down the road, no one will know what I'm talking about, and I hope that's the case, for fucking sake. But so there are these individuals who in our current system believe they are doing the right thing. And again, I say believe because I'm not sure what they're trying to prove, like if they're trying to protect something or if they're trying to protect themselves or what the deal is. Because they don't really seem to be helping other people as far as I know. Like, who are they defending is my question. Because it's not me, and it's not you, and it's not anybody I can really think of, so why do we care about them, and why are we allowing them to make these decisions? You know? It's like they don't really seem to care about anybody else as far as I'm concerned. It's like they say these things, but I've never seen someone so, or some individuals that are so lost in it that they believe that they are the most important thing in the universe over anybody else, and then everybody else is trying to prove that that is actually correct. It's like, what? What does that mean? Now, it's one thing if you're fooled and you believe that's the case, but no one admits that they've been fooled. Or very few actually admit that they are wrong. And honestly, listen, there are some people who are like, oh, I can never forgive this person, even if they do say that they're wrong or they're sorry or whatever. I'm actually of the differing opinion where if somebody apologizes for something stupid that they've done, I'm okay with that. Like, there are things I've been wrong about, for damn sure. And forgive me, I'm in the middle of battle. Okay. Problem solved. But like I said, there have been things I've been wrong about. For sure. Things I've been dead wrong about, and that have affected my life severely.
Round up whoever's left and fall back.
And yeah,
Keep this bridge open for the retreat. I'll meet with
I've suffered for being wrong before. For damn sure. And I feel like maybe a little bit of humility might be just what everybody needs. And I think that's okay to learn from mistakes. Like, because, you know, people do make mistakes. People make huge mistakes all the time. Doesn't matter who you are, you've made a mistake in your life. Like, no one's perfect. I don't care what you say. Like, oh, I've never been wrong in my life. It's like, no, you're full of shit. You've been wrong about something. But the thought comes to mind is just like, how do people find that hurting themselves and not realizing that they're hurting themselves is a good thing? Like, they focus on these very minute and very first world and very just egocentric problems. Like, oh, well, what about me? You know, and, you know, don't get me wrong. What about me is always a good thing. Like, worrying about your own situation is okay. Because there are plenty of people who don't give a damn about you or your family or what you do for a living or anything like that. And I don't agree with that sentiment, but I worry about my own family, and I know there are people who just wouldn't give a damn if I went to other countries. I won't name those countries because, again, things will change. Political systems will change. Even the U.S. will change. And everybody's like, oh, the good old days. But really, did we have good old days? Because I can name any problem from any age you can think of, and there's never been a point where it's just like, oh, everything was great. Everything was running flawlessly. And you're stupid to think otherwise. And I hate to say that, but you really are. It's like, ugh.
The courthouse is off limits.
Whoa, boy. Oh, it didn't actually activate. I was wondering what was happening here. There we go. Much better. And again, I swore I wasn't going to make this a political thing, but after thinking about it for so long and then seeing Basilius and Commodus, and I'm just like, God, that is so similar to a situation we're in right now. It is so similar. And there have been, you know, let's look at the other side of the spectrum. Let's look at so-called heroes of history. So, you know, even the founding fathers of the United States. If you're not from the United States, it's fine. You know, there are leaders from your own nation that are probably fall under this. But if you go back to the 1700s, let's think about it for a second. If you were a white male, you were the only one that had the right to certain things, right? For example, George Washington, Benjamin Franklin, Thomas Jefferson, you know, some very important founding fathers, and yet Benjamin Franklin himself was a womanizer. And not that anybody minded back then, and Benjamin Franklin was an intelligent man, but, you know, he'd cheat on his spouses, he'd sleep with women, and he had multiple children. Some were illegitimate, some weren't even recognized by him, some he had fought with, you know. To the point where it was just embarrassing. So, there's one. Thomas Jefferson. There's been, you know, a number of accusations that he slept with one of his slaves, and that he had children with said slave. And again, that's what they were. I'm not saying that people of darker skin or complexion are, you know, under that term, but back then that was what their occupational sort of, not even occupational, it's what they were indentured into, okay? So they were forced into that situation. They were a slave, right? So I could be a slave to the establishment, but it's not near the same, you know? I don't want to talk myself into a corner because that's just bad, but you understand what I'm saying. So people who had black skin or darker skin or were thought to be black were often treated as slaves or as property or as a subgroup of humans, which is incorrect. Like, I don't agree with it. Nobody should. And if you do, I'm sorry, you're foolish and very, very dumb. But yeah, so Thomas Jefferson slept with one of his slaves, and no matter how well he treated her or what age she might have been, and I feel like she wasn't underage at the time, but then again, 1700s, they didn't really have age limits per se, as far as I know.
We must ready ourselves for the next assault.
Let's wait for Battalion to start talking again.
Marius, come. Follow me. Thank the gods we might get some respite.
So, there's that. George Washington, not actually a great general. And I know that's going to be very painful for somebody to hear, like, oh my God, you're talking about our first president, and blah, 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 and you, oh my God, you know, just put him up on a pedestal and say, oh, he's a godlike figure. But no, the man was actually very good at mapping areas. He did it for work. He fought in the French and Indian War, which unfortunately he was fighting with the British and they were taking trophies, as they do. So that's already something against him, because he was a British sympathizer for a good early portion of the events. And then at some point he said, nah, man, I'm sick of this shit. But he got training from the British. But not very intelligent when it came to battle. He was one of the last generals of the Revolutionary War. And in fact, he was the last general. Which when the victory came about, it's like, oh yeah, General Washington led us to victory. And yes, he did have some bright moments, like crossing the Potomac River on Christmas Eve. Although it could be said that that was a dirty tactic, because attacking on Christmas is very douchey. And, you know, as the British were at the time, they were a very Christian nation, and they believed that, no one attacks on Christmas. And nobody thought twice about it. But yes, it's a douchey move. And, you know, we really wouldn't have won without the French. Because without their navy, the British would have sailed off, come back with reinforcements, and we never would have trapped them. So, you know, when there's that whole thing where people are like, oh, well, we had to protect France. It's like, no. You clearly forget. France protected us first. And that Statue of Liberty that you think is so American was French. So, at least I believe it was French. God, if it's Italian, I'm going to feel foolish. But I believe it was French. Yeah, so listen to Vitalian. Like, he's about as angry as I would be. It's like, fucking protect your civilians, protect your people, before you fucking run off like a fucking coward. But no, Commodus is just a fucking douchebag and, you know, ran off. Again, nepotism. It's a great thing. And by great, I mean terrible.
Status of our defenses, soldier.
We're cut off from all districts and trying to hold the bridges, but most of our men have been evacuated.
Good. When all our men are safe, we will evacuate on the last boat out. Are you clear?
Yes, sir.
Marius, this way.
Anyway, so that's my rant. Like, that's my founding father's rant.
We must get word out. Tell the Senate. What Commodus has done will have to be paid for.
Agreed.
But nobody actually reads the history book for the actual details. It's always about the glorified moments. Like, oh, well, these were great men. They did fantastic things. Look, he was an inventor. And it's like, sure, that's all great and good, but they're still D-bags in certain situations.
Take them on, Marius.
Like, they didn't stop being human.
I'll oversee the evacuation from here.
You there! Fall back! We're getting you out of here. I'll take the Scorpio and provide you cover. You men, haul me back to the left bank. All men, move!
So, in a sense, military leadership actually makes sense, because on a battlefield, everyone's your fucking brother. Like, if they're fighting with you, they are your ally. You defend them, they defend you. One, and two, and three.
Go, Marius!
I'll hold them off until the ship is clear.
No! You have to go! You must live. The Senate will listen to you. You're a commander, they have to.
Again.
Now
Going
go.
to the Senate to try and convict an emperor's son is a sound idea if the emperor decided to follow the rules. The problem is, when you have a leader who doesn't follow the rules, you have to overthrow. I hate to say that, but that has to be the case. Because that endangers the entire nation. Like it does here. Yeah, I missed the button. That's okay. Still works. One, 2, 3, 4. Good day. I'm just going to keep doing this because it makes this a lot easier. You are the 3 worst ones to deal with. There we go. So, the Britons won. They chased off the Romans. Very quickly, too.
Damocles was a great warrior, a revered leader in a vast army. His cowardly commanders abandoned him. Nemesis, the goddess of revenge, allowed Damocles to return to the world as a vengeful spirit. A ghostly, black-armored centurion who would hunt down and kill each of the generals who had wronged him.
Of course, giving the title of general is almost an insult. So we'll start the next chapter before I call this a session.
Darius Titus, you are a general of Rome. I brought you here to protect me from Damocles. But you are Damocles! God's protect. You are Damocles!
Indeed I am. And my story is almost at an end. I became driven by one thought, one solitary desire. The desire for vengeance. Vengeance against the Emperor Nero, who had my family butchered. Vengeance against his despicable sons, who betrayed my legion! In order to exact my vengeance, I'd have to return to where my journey began. Return to my home.
Indeed he
Danger
would.
surrounded me on my journey back to Rome. The evil which had plagued Britain had now infected this city. Starving refugees from our once free Rome lined the roads, telling tales of deprivation and torture. The rule of law lay shattered. My life's solitary purpose was to return to Rome and end the evil that you created, Nero. To prevent you from destroying the Rome that I love, and to return it to its people.
So those unfamiliar with the term rule of law means, that's the Constitution. So, Rome was a republic, much like our own republic. Everybody in the United States seems to have this dumb idea that we live in a democracy, but it is clearly a republic. A republic is where we elect officials to represent us in order to fulfill our needs. A democracy would be where everybody had a vote in any situation in the entirety of the United States. So that would mean anytime Congress or the Senate, which wouldn't exist, have to vote on something, every United States citizen would have to vote. But instead of doing that, we vote in our representative. Now, there's a problem with this that comes in the term of let me think about it. It's going to be coming to me. I had it on the tip of my tongue and I forgot. What's the term? Not fraud. Although that is close to it. No, that's not it. I've been talking about it for weeks now, and the second I want to think of it, I forget. Gerrymandering, that was it. Why did I forget? And the second I stopped trying to think about it, I remember it now. So gerrymandering. So the idea that you make up a voting district that is more favorable to you. So, let's say you have a perfect square. A perfect square, and you cut this square up into 4 pieces. And 3 pieces are green, and 1 is pink. So, the majority of that square is green. So, the official that would be elected in would be of the Green Party. The Pink Party would obviously, feel like they were ousted or whatever else, or, just wouldn't feel represented, okay? But that's just one of the things we come to terms with when we live in the US. So now, imagine these lines are redrawn, and we still have our 3 green squares and our 1 pink square. Now imagine our pink square was then divided into 4 sections. So now we have 4 districts against 3 districts that are super squares. But the votes come out as 4-3. So now pink has the advantage. Even though they represent a smaller group of people, they get the vote. They get the win, they get the victory, their representative gets in. So, unfortunately, for the US's sake, that is legal. That is legal for somebody to redraw district lines to their favor in any which way they want if they are elected in. And they can draw votes from that. And that means Congress, that means, Senate, that means House of Representatives, that means all of them. And any decision can be swayed super heavily towards one side or another. Now, not saying it hasn't happened on both sides of the spectrum, because it most certainly has. But the idea that that is legal is so baffling to me that it's very inconsistent with my thoughts on how elections should be run. And when you look at a map of the US, there are certain locations that have a high density of people and certain locations that have a very low density of people. So if I were to move to, let's say Montana. Montana has at most maybe a couple 100,000 people that live in the state. And again, that's me not telling the truth. There's probably 1 million or so. But let's just say it's a couple 100,000 people. So like 200,000 people. And if I go to New York, there's 1 million people. You would think that with 1 million people, New York would have more power. But the way it works is your vote means a lot less in New York than it would in Montana. Because one out of 200,000 versus 1 out of 1 million is a larger portion of the voting spectrum. Right? So when you have that much influence and you're guaranteed at least 3 representatives, or I guess it would be 4 representatives, so 2 for the Senate, 2 for the House, because I think there's 2 representatives for the House, which is why there's 100. And then the Senate, I think you have to have 2, but then it goes up depending on how high your population is, which is why there's like 54 in California. Or I forget the number now. It could change. Like every time they do a census, this thing change. So again, your vote weighs more in a lower population state, and you have more influence over Congress, the House of Representatives, all that sort of stuff. Fine. But people seem to get confused when they see a certain color on a map and they're like, why does it cover this much area? Or, people take pride in, oh, well, look how much space we take up. And it's like, no. You have to remember, your population density is like 1 every 10 miles versus ours, which is 1 every 10 feet. So, some people don't understand that. And when everybody's compacted like that, obviously they fit into a single district, which comes back to this gerrymandering thing. So, what representatives will do is they'll put that large, huge group of people into one district. And then there's smaller districts where there's not so many people, but that represent them really well, will get multiple portions or multiple districts, which means multiple districts that have more voting power and more representatives for them. And it's flawed. It is severely flawed, which is why I absolutely hate the electoral college system with a fucking passion. Because if it was popular vote, we would solve so many fucking problems. And honestly, like, Don't get me wrong. Because what that would mean is that even for Republican parties, because if Republicans or Democrats or whoever it would be, like, even if it's an independent party, I'd be okay with that. So, any one of those groups that loses the popular vote but wins the electoral college, how can you feel satisfied by that logic? How can you feel satisfied with that knowledge? Because you know that a vast majority of people just do not give a shit about you. They do not want anything to do with you. Which has happened in how many administrations now over the past 200 years? I don't know. And again, that's elected officials. Now, for this game, we're talking about an emperor, which is basically more like the monarchy which we have in Great Britain, where they have parliament and then they have the monarchy. The monarchy doesn't actually have power, but Parliament does. But if one day the Queen of Great Britain decides to go insane, she could. She's getting old, but senile may not be too far away. But if that were to happen and she was like, I'm going to declare war on whatever it is, Her Royal Majesty's military. That's why everything is HMS. Her Majesty's ships, Her Majesty's blank, Her Majesty's military, Her Majesty's military. It doesn't matter. All Her Majesty. It doesn't say Parliament's Majesty, it doesn't say Parliament's, rule. But let's say that were the case. So obviously, what would have to happen? Well, somebody would have to quell the monarchy. And that's not fun to think about, but it would be something you'd have to do in order to protect our own nation, the nation she was attacking, the nation that she herself would be putting into bankruptcy, basically fighting a war that may or may not be won. But let's say she attacked like another first world country, like she attacked France. Okay, do we protect France? Of course we do. The UN would be there, all that sort of stuff. They'd have a hissy fit. And, say what you will about the UN and their lack of motivations to actually intervene in most cases. But the UN was created with the idea that if anybody fucks with us, we all defend each other. Now, for the most part, the UN hasn't been really an effective process for military might, but as far as treaties are concerned, they're pretty spot on. So, anyway, enough of that thought. Sorry I got into a big political discussion. Didn't mean to. I've been talking for more minutes than I can count. And there's a good chance nobody hears this at all, which is fine. But just keep that in mind that when our political leader does something absolutely asinine and we all end up in war, which is a very likely possibility, to be quite honest, it'll be because of his ego, it'll be because of his loud mouth, it'll be because of his stupid Twitter comments, and his stupid vendetta against anybody who badmouths him. That'll be why. It'll be his ego. It'll be because he ruled stupidly. It'll be because he led stupidly. And yeah, that's true for just about anyone. Now there is being too meek. There is a possibility on the opposite end of the spectrum where you just let everybody walk all over you, which is not a good thing either. But there's a difference between dignity and holding your own versus being a big loudmouth with nothing to actually back it up and no actual way to do the things that nobody wants you to do. And I fear, like, if he ever gets to a title of like an emperor or something like that, we're all fucking doomed. Because there'd be no way. Like, the Secret Service would have to coup d'etat. And that's the only way. But that's another thing. So, I don't know. I don't know, people. Again, I enjoy this game a lot, but it makes me think super hard. And I think it's hilarious how much it reminds me of the current regime. And the part about this that isn't really funny, but I still think it's hilarious, is that if we do end up in a situation like that, the entire world may come after us. And there will be no one to blame, but he'll still try to find a way to blame it on the citizens or something like that. Like, oh, well, they didn't let me do this, and that's the reason, blah, 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 blah. And it's just going to be his own damn fault. Now, the part that worries me is if we were to lose, or if we were to fight a battle and we lost, or we have to sign peace treaties or whatever, what do we lose? Do we lose our freedoms? Do we lose our way of life? Do we lose anything like that? And do I think that's possible for him to do? And what I hope is only another 3 years or less, if fucking possible. And he's already impeachable. He's already impeachable. But anyway, I've talked too much. Oh, hi, King Raven. Sorry. I am kind of on about Trump, because this game reminds me a lot about him. But no, this is on Xbox One. Anyway, so you can watch the recording, putting it up on my YouTube channel. I'm just doing an outro that went on way too long. Sorry about that, Raven. Yeah, that's it. That's my worry. If we can get him out of there, if we can get Pence out of there, if we can get the whole fucking group of them out of there, I'd be thrilled. But anyway, we will finish up Ryse, Son of Rome. It is a free market. You know, that is the one thing that's great about our Constitution, is our right to the freedom of speech. So, I'm going to use it to the best of my ability when I can, but I often don't like to put it in my gameplay about political talk. But this is a very political game in a sense, because it's about the military and fighting and Rome and its fall and rise again. And yeah, it's very on the nose. But Raven, I'm glad you're here. Yeah, see, don't get me wrong. Yeah, if you can vote for whoever you want, I'm okay with that. Like, I don't care which side of the fence you're on. You know, if you voted for Trump, I'm sure you had a good reason. I'm sure at the time you had a good reason. I have a hard time finding that reason, but that doesn't mean that we can't communicate. So, and again, I have many people in my family who would also agree with you. So, there's that. But, yeah, this will be up on my YouTube channel. And, yeah, we'll leave this till next time. Hopefully I won't be discussing politics too much. Again, there's so much. There is so much to discuss. I just hope that things look better in the future. And that's all I can really hope for. But thank you for being here. I will see you all next time. Feel free to subscribe and follow. And if you have any questions for me, any games you want to see me play, let me know. And we'll go from there. All right. See you all next time. Bye-bye.